Welcome to How to Thought Leadership with your host, Julie Morris. Now sit back and relax. Let's grow your influence so you can serve at scale.
Jen, I'm thrilled to get to sit down with you today, to get to know you, your vision, everything that you're building right now. I'm so excited because you are doing something that all of us really do need to be thinking about. And that is, what is the dream inside of us that we want to build? And how the heck do I push, do I force, do I create? I mean, none of that is easy. I'm thrilled to sit down with you today. So welcome to the How to Thought Leadership podcast.
Julie, thank you. I am just as excited, and I'm a huge fan of your thought leadership podcast. I have listened to the conversations that you have with successful leaders, and I love hearing about how they have found their own voice and have broken barriers. It's highly inspirational to me at this moment in my life because I'm starting my third startup.
Yeah, this is quite a season for you. As we are getting ready to just have this discussion and be in this podcast together, I can tell you that what I love to think of a podcast is like. I'm all about the tactics and all about the how-to. So you and we're sitting down at Starbucks and we're just having coffee together. And it's like we get to do this for the benefit not just of us, but of the table next to us, who's going to start thinking like, wow, that's an amazing conversation. And people just start to lean in and benefit from all of our learnings and everything that we've gone through. And so from how we present ourselves, like I had mentioned, my hair is a little wild today. But you know what? If I were showing up at Starbucks some days, my hair will inevitably be a little bit wild. And we bring who we are to the moment. I'm thrilled today to get to talk through everything that's brought you to this moment. What you're building sounds incredible, and I can't wait to learn more about it. But let's start off at the beginning, if we could. You have this incredible story that you shared with me ahead of time about when you first moved from Philadelphia to California. Could you take us back to the beginning and tell us about what that was like?
Sure. When I first moved to California from Philadelphia, I was about 25 years old, and I had nothing. I had nothing but cardboard box of clothes and my 1995 Jeep Wrangler that I still have to this day. And I drove straight out to Malibu, and it was beautiful, but I had no friends. I had no family out here, and I did not have a job. So I had to quickly scramble and figure out how I was going to survive with basically nothing. It was very scary. And 9/11 had happened, so that made it a lot harder. And my parents had told me, hey, you're more than welcome to come back and be with us. We'll take care of you. But in my mindset, I had made a commitment and I made a decision, and I was not going to give myself the option to quit. Mm-hmm. So from there, I went on to find my first professional job at a company. It was an internet company. It was a startup, a financial services startup that we were able to take that company from zero profit to a $350 million acquisition in just a few years. And that led on to my other startups.
Amazing. When I first approached you about joining me on this podcast, it was because I read that you were launching this amazing new startup. And it really spoke to me as a mom, as a person, as someone who has gone through enough of life to know that we inevitably forget some of these amazing things that we wish we could pass on. And so I read just enough to go, okay, I have to see if she'll sit down with me and share the vision and share a little bit about your startup. We're going to talk about your how and your why and your story and what the product is. And as people are listening, what I'm hoping that they're going to do is hear that it's possible, that they can go and build, that they're going to be able to create something incredible too. That while you are special, the people listening are no less special. Like everyone has in them this thing that you don't want to miss the chance to go after. As you're hearing Jen's story, think about the dream. And after you're done listening, think about what's that first next step you could take to see that dream start to put some boots on it. Jen, if you would, tell us about your startup and your story.
Sure. I would love to, Julie. So Lifetime Wishes, it's an AI-powered platform that it has huge potential to help the well-being of children and families across the world. We're currently in the pre-seed development stage. I've been self-funding it. We have a patent and a prototype, and we have quite a bit of traction. We're getting feedback from parents, and also we're exploring partnerships and outside investments. So we're on the ground floor, but we've got a very solid plan, and I think the solution is amazing. And I could get into thperhaps how I came about the idea. There was a few pivotal moments in my life where it first started with I threw a baby shower for my sister about 26 years ago. And I brought 26 envelopes. I numbered each one of them, handed out to a guest, and then asked the guest to create a future birthday wish for my niece. Everybody did so. And to this day, my niece has opened up one of those birthday wishes every single year. She still has one more to go. But the most amazing part about it, and the most meaningful part about it, is that there's been wishes she has opened through the years from loved ones that had passed prior to her opening them. So, for example, her grandmother, actually her great-grandmother, my grandmother, and then my father, who died from cancer in 2012. And, it's just been very eye-opening in terms of the power of how connection, when it withstands time, it is so powerful. So the baby shower was one key moment. And then another key moment was when my father passed. And then I started to realize, wow, I would love to see a never before seen video of my dad again, or get his advice, or, even just have a chat with him, with his avatar, joke around with him, hear his voice, see his mannerisms. And then as my children have grown older, they are now teenagers, I'm starting to realize the importance even more of how they need my guidance and support 24/7. But there's a couple challenges. As with any parent, you're not always available. It's just not possible. So I thought about how could I provide a way for them to have my thoughts when I'm not available, and using their phone, their preferred method of communication always. It definitely was, set off a couple bells. And then I realized, well, I could provide my guidance in a library that they could search up on their own, especially for questions perhaps they don't feel comfortable asking me directly, which I hope they do, but you never know. It could be about sex or drugs or just how to deal with certain relationships and so forth. So that's another big reason and inspiration for creating Lifetime Wishes. And then, of course, it doesn't replace the hugs and the kisses, and you have to have the one-on-one, communication. But it's just basically a supplement for parenting when you're not there.
That is an incredible series of moments that I think make us all reflect on the moments that we've experienced that are very similar, and to be able to bring that gift with us. And so there's the science piece that I can't wait to ask you, an avatar. Oh my goodness, that's wild to picture that we are here and already there. So we'll go into that, but that's incredible. So it all kind of crystallizes for you. Tell me more. Keep going.
Well, I would say that, Lifetime Wishes, it's more than a platform. It's a bridge to the past. It's a legacy for the future. And it's a way of providing comfort in the now, in the present. And it's about not losing any voices, and not letting wisdom be forgotten, and not letting connections be severed by time or any type of circumstance. And it's basically a testament to us as human beings, our resilience and our innate desire to leave our mark on future generations. And that's where we are helping parents to basically love always and forever. The parents want to be there 24/7, but they don't always have the resources and the time to do that. So, I can't be everywhere all at once. And what I want to do is I want to clone myself, but I can't. But Lifetime Wishes actually gives me that opportunity to clone myself. And then we've also figured out a way how to make it fun to capture everything that you would want to give to your children. Your guidance, your support, birthday gifts, holiday gifts, and life stories and so forth. We've created a process where it's actually fun and easy and enjoyable for the parents to go there and the kids to go there and receive it. And we're using AI to help leverage and make this easy so that the parents can quickly and easily curate and share their personal wisdom and memories and support that lasts a lifetime. Then we take that content and we help you to create your own forever parent mini me that your children can interact with and be entertained with or learn from.
This does feel like the cutting edge of all things that we can do with AI. I mean, in a year from now, we'll see all of this evidence around us where AI has made such a difference in our lives. But like, tell us, if you would, like figuring out all of this stuff, figuring out the science piece behind it. Like, do you have a background in data and technology? Like, how did you come here to this place?
Well, I have a background in online product development.
Mm-hmm.
And all my life, I've been very interested in, me and my father, but we had the Commodore 64 that I was coding on when I was 13 or 14 years old. And I would not say that I'm a coder at this point, but I have the basics behind it. I used to program online multi-video games and so forth. So
cool.
I've always had that love for technology. And over the past 6 months, I've been learning as much as I can about AI. And in fact, I had to become agile because Lifetime Wishes initially didn't have the AI, even though it was very streamlined. But now the AI has, after I figured out and I spoke with many AI experts and developers, how can we integrate this feasibly into the product? Mm-hmm. And it's become exponential. Like if you need help figuring out what advice you're going to tell to your child, when they're 16 or 21 or 30 or 40, AI can help you. You can choose to use it. You can edit it. You can actually take it back. Like there's a lot of flexibility because when you're giving advice to your child, it's, you might say one thing one day, but the next day it might be, think something else. So we have that ability for the parents to go in and edit and change whatever it is that they've provided to the child.
Wow. The avatar piece, so they would see me would be giving them that advice. That's incredible.
Yeah. So the cool thing about it is that the content that you create and upload to your library is the same content, if you allow, and it's all permission-based, that is used to train your personal parent avatar. So it learns your beliefs, it learns your guidance, it learns your life story. And then also you can clone a voice in about 5 minutes. So you have fun cloning your voice. You upload a still picture of yourself, and that's all you need. You don't even need to have a full video of yourself. It helps to have different angles, but it looks like you, it talks like you, and most importantly, it predicts things like you. And obviously, I know that there's issues out there, concerns out there. Well, what is it going to say and so forth? So that's why there's limitations and parameters. And we also, our intent is to put an emotion AI model behind it to protect that, to make sure that whatever does come out is emotionally intelligent.
I think that this sounds like the thing that I wish I would have had. I lost my mother very unexpectedly, and she was young, and I remember looking for a letter. Like surely she wrote something down for me, like just this last overarching thing. And I'm just thrilled to hear that my kids wouldn't have to do that. Like that it couldn't be further from where I was.
Yeah, that's what I love about this product, because I want to use it right now. And I want to get it done as soon as possible so I can start recording my own thoughts for my own children. And there's a sense of urgency from a personal perspective, just because, everything I've been through with operations and everything. I understand that the unexpected can happen. But I also want it for the happy side where, maybe they're at the gym or they're at their sports and they have a simple question. They can they can't get a hold of me. They open up my library, search him, and hey, Mom, what do you think about this or that? And there I am saying either the real me, my video, or my avatar, if I've trained that, to give them any input they might need that might help them.
That's incredible. You are Jen, the founder. You are Jen, the mom. You've done this before. You've had to build and create, and between business problems and solving and all this, it's like it still takes a boatload of bravery to decide, okay, this idea is worth building. I'm going to stake that this is where a lot of my energy, effort, resource this is where it's going to go. Like, that's an all-in kind of game. Was that terrifying to do that?
I've always thought I wanted to do something big in life. I told my dad when I was 16 I was going to do something big, and I have no idea what it was. And I've always wanted to do something that would help make people happy, stemming from that one little thing. And then as those pivotal moments happened in my life, and then I realized, well, well-being is part of happiness. And when I go all in, I am all in. I'm all in on my kids, and I am also all in on helping the world from a global perspective, because I can see how it will help to elevate overall well-being for everyone. There's been times where I've been sitting thinking, well, that's a pretty big plan, a very big plan. I've never helped some people at a global scale before. However, I have this deep passion to want to do it. And so what I sometimes do is I actively train my mindset to just not believe that inner critic and not believe, things that I've heard or said from other people who aren't supportive, so that I can just power through it. It's kind of like I understand the depth of what I'm attempting to do, and I kind of put it over here so I can actually get other stuff done that I know will lead to getting over here. So while I focus on, the individual parents and children and helping them to create guidance for each other, I know that as this idea spreads throughout the nation, throughout the world, there's going to be a lot of families who are opening up videos from people they hadn't seen in a while, or a child will be able to access their mom who's busy at work and get a quick answer from her and make a right decision. So I truly believe that it is scary when I just focus on the big idea, but I'm doing it anyway.
Amazing. You hit on something that I think is really crucial, that if you haven't heard this lesson before, hear it now. There will be people in your life who are not going to be supportive of your idea. And that's just the tough reality of it as a founder.
Yeah.
You got to know that this is what you're supposed to do. And sometimes that means you're not sharing widely with people. You're going to just have a few people that you trust, especially at the beginning, that are not going to just shoot your idea down. So you have to know, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it, even if nobody else around me understands. And that's a very scary place to be.
It is. And it can get a little bit lonely at times. And that's why I have intentionally reached out to expand my own network, my own support network. And even with joining chief.com, the, exclusive network for executive women, that has helped me exponentially, and just in terms of not only my network, but also the support that I gather. And reaching out in other ways, I hosted a Wonder Woman dinner with Yao Huang and started to meet all these highly successful women and realizing I'm really not alone. I just have to find those people who understand and have been through similar circumstances and hold on to that support. And that has helped a lot, just reaching out and networking for sure.
Oh my goodness, yes. So now, Jen, you having this idea, being the founder of this company, you are now going to end up being the face of a brand. And that is not a walk in the park either. I remember when I figured out that that was what I was going to have to do and be also, I hit up against this wall of public speaking. It was the hardest initially. I had had years of a track record proving that I should not be public speaking. I mean, experience after experience, it was like, okay, this may be just such a weak point that I could just simply not do that part and then work on my strengths, and hire away for weaknesses. Well, you can do that for accounting. You can do that for, name a number of fields. But if you are a founder, there's this amazing opportunity of being the face of a brand. Most of the people listening have not been that public-facing person. And if you are going to go through a reinvention and any kind of big pivot, this is an area where you don't want to miss the chance to leverage what it looks like to be a thought leader in your space. And so if for public speaking, the only way through is through. During the pandemic, that was when it really hit for me, that wall of, okay, I don't want to feel like this anymore with public speaking. I want to teach, I think. I want to speak, I think. But I knew that to be the face of a brand, I had to be able to get up and at least talk to small groups for the love of all things, right? Pandemic time, here I am in the same room I am now, holding my phone, practically shaking as I started to learn how to public speak on Clubhouse, of all things, the audio-only platform where everyone would gather, and it felt like a little mini conference 24/7. And for the first month or two, it was awful. It was horrible. I would hold the phone and trying to get the words out. I would totally go blank in the middle of it. My heart would be racing. And yet, if you just keep pushing through, it's like if you run. Like if you've ever been a runner, you know that the first time when you start to run, you're raining like this. 10 steps in and it's just excruciating to run. But then the next time you go a few more steps. And then before you know it, you can actually make it around the block without stopping. And it's shocking, but it's the same thing. It's the same way with public speaking. And so many people are going to hit that wall and feel like, no, it's not for me. Everyone else should be public speaking. It's just not for me because of all this track record of mine of screwing it up before. But it's amazing to be on the other side of it. I love public speaking now. I adore it. It's open doors that I can't even quite wrap my head around. And so I can teach and I can do this podcast and I could get up in a stadium tomorrow and practice now. Not even a ton. I mean, the pandemic's 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It's not been a ton of practice to see the transformation that it's been.
Exponential. And you started kind of doing it a little bit at a time, it sounds like. And that's, it reminds me of, that's what I would advise to anyone just thinking about getting started. Take baby steps.
Yeah.
Make sure you enjoy it. You have to thoroughly enjoy what you're doing. So take baby steps, find a way or something about it that you enjoy. Mm-hmm. And then what I did was I give myself the option to quit initially. So when I was recovering from all my surgeries, I would jog a little bit one day, go a little bit further the next day, or maybe walk. And I always told myself, I can quit, and then start over. And the relief of not having that pressure to quit or to keep going kept me going. And then that's when I started to realize, hey, okay, well, I'm going. So why don't I get a little bit braver, make myself a little bit better, get more contacts, get more support. Mm-hmm. And so I started to and that's what I'm kind of in the process of doing now. I'm on your podcast. I'm afraid of public speaking, and this was a big deal for me. And I am here. I'm a lot better at talking than I was yesterday. I was just getting started in practicing. And then, obviously the network and support has helped out a lot. And then I would say the third leg in that would be getting to a point where you finally announce, hey, I'm doing this. And then you withdraw your own option to quit. No more quitting. This is it. It's happening. And you power through it. And those are my 3 stages of getting started.
I love that so much. There's this book Matt Higgins had written called Burn the Boats. I was shocked to see what kind of great stuff was in this book. But just this idea that if we have all these options open, our brain just goes, okay, I'm good. I don't have to try. I don't have to push nearly as hard and as far. But in this day and age, that's exactly what we have to do. We have to own the vision that we have inside of us. Because if we don't, we're going to lose not only some ground and when we're pushing so hard to build, but we're also going to lose our confidence because it costs us something to be that confident. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to wait for the feeling of confidence. Confidence is a decision. It's not a feeling. If you see me on LinkedIn, I kind of feel as confident as I put myself out there now. But again, that's only been with practice.
Yeah. There's an interesting article I read in the Harvard Business Review. It was from 2021. And it was basically it was titled Stop Telling Women That They Have Imposter Syndrome, because it gets kind of misconstrued as if it's their fault and something that they need to fix versus fixing, the systematic bias and racism that's going on that causes society to repeatedly tell women that they don't have confidence. But another part of that article that I found very interesting is that confidence is not equated with competence. So it's easy for us to misunderstand, I don't feel confident right now, so then maybe I'm not going to come off as competent and the desired results will not be what I want. And that's not the case. You are allowed to feel not confident, or maybe your confidence comes out in a totally different way versus what society is not used to accepting. And you have to learn to accept that. I mean, I feel very highly confident that I can make Lifetime Wishes happen. I know I'm going to make it happen. I have no doubt about it. But ironically, when I sit here in front of you, what I have a little bit of concern is, am I saying the right words? Am I public speaking in the confident way that I imagine and assume is supposed to be in order to get that support?
Yeah, that's such a great point. And the only way to figure that out is while your feet are moving. More conversations with people, seeing what clicks. We have to be in this phase of founder, which I believe we all are. You are the CEO, not just of Lifetime Wishes, but you're the CEO of Jen Inc. I'm the CEO of Julie Inc. Everyone listening is the CEO of their own personal startup, because the reality is employers, they don't owe us anything. Like, we have to be agile. We have to be ready to make moves, make transitions, do what's right for the company, Julie Inc., Jen Inc. And so you now are head of HR, head of business development, head of sales, head of marketing, and also go ahead and build the platform too. And can you file that patent and deal with all those patent office inquiries? And so you have 20 jobs. So this is the reality of it. And you having one of those 20 jobs is head of brands. So you have to now figure out, what is that brand messaging? Now, this doesn't mean that you go out and find some expensive brand strategist to come in and tell you what the product should be messaged like. It will come with practice. It will come with conversations. You'll see what clicks. You'll see what works. Don't be afraid to reinvent halfway through and go, this tagline sucks. Nobody gets it. But clarity will always win. If people don't understand who we are, what we do, what's the product, all the fancy can be super distracting. Just being clear around it and trying it, finding some really great examples of what good branding and brand messaging looks like. Like with Apple, they just did this big reveal, the Apple show that they do, and they never use the words AI, even though obviously the AI coming in is significant. They use machine learning because they figured out after practice that the target audience is going to work a lot better with that terminology. Works for the developers, works for the audience. That's where we're going to go. They did not arrive at that on the first time they came up with messaging.
I totally agree. And the testing, that's always been a big part of my process with working with clients and so forth over the years. Is the product needs to be built by the people. The parents need to tell me, I'm asking them literally on my website, please come to my website and tell me what you like and what you don't like. And then obviously we'll be doing focus groups and so forth, because I can position the Lifetime Wishes in a couple different ways. It's the same product, but it can be looked at, oh, it's a convenience factor. I don't have to worry about sending another anniversary card or birthday gift, or it's a guidance factor. I can make sure that my kids have my guidance 24/7. And then also it can be looked at as a legacy app where I get to, capture the feeling of being with my father again. So the applications are all amazing, and it actually all is the same product, but I'm going to find out from the market what they want the most. And then if we split it out into 3 different things later on, then we can do that as well. But Yeah, I agree. Testing is the best way to go.
I love that. I know for me, when I think of your product, the legacy piece stands out strongly. And I hope for everybody listening that you'll be able to find what about this product. I think it's going to be one of those that we all are going to get to engage with, because this is the future. It's a benefit. It's also a responsibility that we think about. Nobody gets to decide how long they're going to be around for. On the day-to-day and in the legacy piece, I think it's extraordinary. And I think, too, if you're listening, what I would love for you to do, really, please reach out. Share what your dream is. Share the thing that you want to build and where you feel stuck. You have something to create. And if you're not really sure what it is, keep your eyes open. Keep your heart open. Have conversations with people and just explore and pick your head up for a minute. We can get very busy, very much nurturing the job that you have and everything on your plate. But don't forget, you get one life, right? Like, you get one chance to be here, to use the time wisely, to go and create something incredible. And there is a community and a network, vast as it can be, that you, through thought leadership, can go and build, taking your dream directly to an audience. There is not a greater time to be alive, y'all. And I just hope that you hear it's time to start. It's time to get braver on what's inside you. It's time to put that stake in the ground when you do know what it is, to go, okay, I'm going to build this and it's going to succeed. Jen, it's been incredible to get to know you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and sit down with me. This has been extraordinary.
Thank you for letting me share my story. I mean, honestly, your inspiration, your advocacy for thought leadership, that's the only reason why I came on here, because I felt safe and I had a wonderful time and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hear you on future podcasts with others and just getting out there with this dream to go make the world a better place, because that is definitely what you're supposed to do. So, well, thank you folks for joining us today. Please rate and subscribe and do all the things that you do with your podcast platforms to help get the word out. Follow Jen. Please go check out Lifetime Wishes. It's LifetimeWishes.AI. Can't wait to see what you do with this platform and how it makes your life better and helps you leave a legacy right now and going forward.
Thank you for listening to How to Thought Leadership with Julie Morris. You can find Julie on LinkedIn and most other social media platforms. If you'd like to talk about how to increase your own influence through thought leadership, you can contact Julie through personateam.com.